beloved one.
All right. Good morning, everybody. It is the stroke of 10, and it is Easter Sunday, and we are here. My name is Nick Siegel. Absolute pleasure to welcome Johnny Morton to the stage. Let's give him a hand.
Good morning. Welcome to my beach, which is my stage. And I think we've got more surfers today than any of our previous years that I can remember. So hi, you guys. Catch a good one. All right, so I'm feeling a little bit radioactive because it seems like you're so far away. So if any of you want to move up, I don't know what's here. This may be radioactive between the yellow tape, but around here, you're welcome to come forward. I was doing a bit of reflection about when we first did the Easter at the beach. And I don't have the year, but it's many years now we've been doing this occasion. And the inspiration came inside. So I saw something like what we're doing again this year, where we would come to this beautiful part of Santa Monica Beach, that we'd welcome all who come. So there is a sign that essentially welcomes all. Is there anybody who was walking, running, maybe for some crawling by, and you just happen to notice maybe the balloons or the gatherings, or Earth Cafe is here? Has anybody just popped in and joined us? Something like that? Okay, we got one over here. Welcome, and in particular, our magnet drew you in. Do you have a radio on as well? Just if you like one, I think they still have some over here. Come with the earphones, so we're okay. And I just look at it as our generosity of spirit that we would meet up with what's being done for us spiritually. That we are an all-comers movement. Come as you are. We love you in that way. And then get ready, because when you get in this movement, I remember my first seminar, and I've referred to this on many occasions, but it's still something happening today. And we chanted the Hue. So this was in 1974, I think, before John Roger formally introduced the United Hue, but maybe not. In any case, I took off. I took off immediately from where I was sitting, and I really haven't stopped since. I don't know how to measure the speed, but it was something beyond supersonic. And that's part of the movement, that it goes at whatever rate we can handle. I'd like you to consider that what is going on here is very personal. So yesterday I did, in fact, invite people to consider, well, what would it be like if you didn't have this in your life, if it wasn't in some way introduced to you as an opportunity? And then I needed to call that in because if you were there yesterday, you knew I said several times, I have to watch what I say, I have to watch what I think about, because it's powerful. And I'm glad for that. The closer we get into the heart of what this is, it's all powerful. It's omnipotent. So we take on the divine order and allow what that is to come into the human experience. And we're human, so it takes us on as who we are, where we are, how we are. So how are you? Okay. Happy to be here. I'm great. Thank you. Good to be here again and welcoming more of you. We are indeed uh, tuned up, tuned in for whoever you are around the world. So notice we're not wearing gloves or protective gear. Well, maybe a little sun lotion, even though it's kind of unusual to get this amount of moisture in the air these days. So let's take a moment for rain. Okay. That we're going to be rain dancing here. However, that comes about for you. And what would the rain dance be? It would be an invocation of our authority that we can call forward what it is we would like to create with our Creator. And there's a particular way we go about that we call the highest good. And that means of all. And however that would concern anyone in any way, and anything in any way. And that would be an omniscient consciousness. So we invoke that. So we are here to dance for rain, to pray for rain, even amidst the great sun, that we're in a world that has a luxury called water. There's a whole lot of it right out there. It just has a whole lot of sodium chloride in it, probably amongst other elements as well. So that we need a kind of water that's minimized as fresh. So let's consider that that's what we're asking for to come from the sky in perfect ways and perfect timing. That we have also come into the consciousness that understands there is a perfect order that's always present with us. So whatever the conditions are here today and going forward, and wherever you are in the world, let's open it up. So here the need is in part the rain, the water to come forward. Wherever you are, maybe it's a glad hand. Maybe it's something to protect you from other elements, the wind, the cold. So we'll just open that up so our relationship to the world shifts to a more harmonious nature. And I'd like to consider that the consciousness that is the Christ, that is the beloved of God, is entirely harmonious. I was with my wife, Lee. There she is. She's the one with the flowers in her hair, hippie girl. And so as we were riding over here, we were looking at and listening to some of the words of Jesus. Around the time of the Pentecost and leading up to that, which traditionally is looked upon as about 40 days from now. Some of you did the earlier part of 40 days before today. Anybody know what that day is called? Yeah, Ash Wednesday, I think. And maybe the account would go to Mardi Gras, which is another way for Fat Tuesday, the day before, because you get fat because for 40 days it's Lent or something like that. In any case, the words were, "I am always with you." And it's attributed to when Jesus ascended, so that timing was around the time of the ascending and lifting up. So that presence is here, even unto the ends. It's been said many ways of the world, the end of the age. Maybe it's the end of right now. Whatever this is that's completing today, in whatever way, that we're also opening up to what we want to create to go forward. So let that be harmonious, serving the highest good, that we are those who would invoke that we would bring it out of the air so that it would precipitate into the world, into where we are, amongst us, that there is a presence of the divine that walks with us, and that means every step, every breath. And remember that. And if you want that presence of the divine to come closer, how would you do that? I know that presence as sweetness, as tenderness, as complete understanding, complete love, that it has a way of always doing that. I was also listening this morning to a modern hymn. I'm seeing if I can get the name in here, but it's something that we are never alone. And when we understand that, then we would also place ourselves into addressing our companion in a way that would bring them closer. And part of that is just to ask for the presence, however you would do that, in the presence of a divine nature that is with you, and just consider that it's here in the invisible, it's here in the silent, but it's fully present as something that is touching to each one of us and breathing with each one of us. Another way we know this presence is it's always close with the children. So today, I remember some Easter back there when I was still in Las Vegas. So my memory, the family lore is I left Las Vegas when I was about 4, because my dad was transferred to yet another Air Force base somewhere else. But I remember going to an Easter ceremony at one of the casinos. It's true. On the lawn, and listening to Spike Jones and his Mad something, if any of you have heard that music. And then going around and scurrying about with other kids looking for some, I don't remember, but I remember they were brightly colored things. So I remember the candy. That's what I remember, yes. And an Easter basket or something like that. So welcome to the children. This is one of the ways I associate the movement of spiritual inner awareness when it's at its best. That the children are amongst us, that they are freely expressing their heart's desire, maybe some other desires. But I hear their laughter. I see their playfulness. I see their sense that they are with their people, or maybe it's a person. So they belong here. They're our family. We would take care of them. We would protect them. We would make sure they have what they need and a lot more. And that our intention would be that their lives become better than ours. And that this is the will of the Father and the Mother who are God amongst us, that it is something we're passing on as a better life. And let's take a moment to give thanks to our ancestors, those who have gone before us, all the way. However that comes to us as an awareness. Whatever they went through, let's consider in their heart, in their true nature, they wanted a better life for those of us who came after. Even if they didn't manage to express that because of the difficulty in their own personal life. So we just take a moment in the Christ consciousness that is forgiveness, that if there's any judgment toward them, all the way back in the line, to just take judgment all the way back in the line, however you would be aware of it, and place forgiveness, that you have the authority right here to bless your entire line where you came from, all of the ancestors. And then to bless our kind, to bless those who are related as our people. And eventually we're going to get around that we're all related, that we all come from one Father, one Mother, who is God. So what also comes up the line is forgiveness toward us. So whatever we have done, whatever have been our transgressions, that all of that is forgiven here and now, that we place peace all the way down the line, and this peace goes forward. So it takes care of whatever may come from this day. It takes care of those who are here that we have ushered forth as our children and their children, and all the way up. The consciousness that's here with us is grace, that we're in the grace which is loving God. And that also works from our loving God, so it comes as a loving toward us always. And just consider that your life has been accompanied by this loving every step along the way, even when we were not in that consciousness, that was not what was being expressed. So here's the guarantee to any life in this world. There will always be loving. And loving is always present. And all that's really needed is that we would choose the loving. They would give the slightest opening for the loving to come in. That would have a willingness to look for it if we do not see it, so that we could see it in whoever has that loving in their being. So let a prayer also be that we become greater lovers, greater authority of that, so that we could go wherever we go in the world, and always be willing to be in that presence and to shift into that presence of loving. We can do that for one another, that we can take a moment in our day. So let's consider we're taking that moment right now to send the loving, to place it with each and every one of us here. And in the power of what God can do, the miracle of God with all things that are possible, that we could send it to everyone. one of the terms we use for the opportunity we all have in the movement of spiritual inner awareness is light bearer. There's a word in the scriptures about that. It's like it's about this close to wherever my mind is at the moment. So I'm just telling you about the process of what's going on. But it's something that has been with us in the teachings that have come from our ancestors who are in this line of the travelers, the line that is the Christ. That we are bearers of light. And as we choose to awaken in that, then we walk in it. We become that consciousness that is the light, so that we can consider that we are the light, and then we can personally own it as I am the light. That invitation comes in and of the Christ, that it comes as a demonstration in the flesh, and that we can all have that opportunity over and over to shift into the light bearer consciousness, that we would recognize, that we would see it in one another, that it can be simply hi, or hey, or what's up, that's a light, a consciousness, that we recognize in each other in a welcoming consciousness, a kind consciousness, a willingness to take care from the caring that we bring in, that we're a caring consciousness, a sharing consciousness, and a giving consciousness. So thank you for being here. Thank you for taking time out of this day, whatever that means for you. Bringing your children, however that took place, which I still have children. I invited them here today, so maybe, who knows, they might find it in their day to show up. In any case, bless the children wherever they are. Bless your life. And consider that our friend John Roger is blessing us in his way, in the way that comes to us in our heart, in the way that we have opened ourselves up in that consciousness of the beloved. And also that there's a blessing of Jesus that radiates to all in a day that we know as he is risen. He's not there, and he's in a consciousness of preparing a place for all, so that we're all in that place here in this simple way, in the simple way that there are those of you around the world also joining in. And let's take it up one more time, that we would find the joy in this presence, the laughter, the smile, the kindness, that it's a good day. It's a life getting better. And we're going to gather the rain. And sometimes that rain comes from a storm, something that represents turbulence in the world, agitation in the world, one element confronting another element in seeming conflict, and yet from that dynamic of the positive and the negative comes the rain, sometimes with the lightning, sometimes with the floods. So whatever we're asking for in ways that are harmonious and serve whatever's needed in this world, that we would call it forward from the unmanifest that it becomes the manifest that bears greater good toward all, blessing toward all, that we receive in full, giving thanks to our beloved God, to our beloved Christ and traveler, Beirish Beshan. So what do you think? Is there any other sightings or hints about the bunny, the big bunny guy?
Heard like almost like it could be on site now.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we're checking in because it's.
So is there a sign when we see the bunny? What happens? Do we like?
I think
jump
it's
up
an
and
invocation.
down, or
I don't know. I'm hoping that you were going to bring in an invocation to materialize
okay,
the bunny.
So,
That's what I was
maybe
hoping.
the bunny has to show up so the rain can show up, or something like that.
All in your due process. How you want to play that out?
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Okay. So. Yeah. What else you got there, young man? Did you want to come over here, or is that a?
Well, I've been instructed to come over here because there's going to be a musical finale there, and they're going to be setting up
wow,
over there.
Look at that.
Oh, wait a minute. John,
What?
11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. I'm seeing Sprinting Bunny. Bunny. Let's all call in.
Look, people.
Bunny.
People. Look what you've done.
He's in good shape, that bunny. He hops. A lot of hopping going on for that bunny.
Upon the earth. It's a sign. It's a sign. Big Ears is here.
Oh, my gosh. Let's give it up for Bunny.
Let's welcome him forward. Hey. It's about time. It's about time.
That's my friend. Not as young a bunny as I used to be. Hi, everybody. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
If you can hear me, raise your hand. Well, I am the Easter Bunny. Hi, everybody. And as you know, I bring kids Easter baskets. Now, people ask me, they say, E, they call me E. They say, E, what is it with the bunny and Easter? What's the association? And I say, well, us bunnies, we love to reproduce. And we love to reproduce life. And that creates life, and that's what we're all about. Isn't that what Easter's all about? A newness, a oneness, a wholeness? Yeah. So they also ask me, now, what is it about eggs, EB? Do bunnies lay eggs? No! We don't lay eggs. But eggs, you see, are a symbol. They're representative of new life. Because when you look at an egg, what do you see? There's nothing going on. It's basically dead. Except if you give it time and love, at some point, it opens up. Nature's perfect timing and God's will. And, Jesus, we celebrate his birth. Not his birth, his resurrection today. Right? Put your hands on your heart and see if you feel the birth, resurrection of Jesus in your heart. And, he was in that tomb for 3 days, sort of like an egg. And at the end of that time, he burst forth. Everybody burst forth. Yeah. And now I want you to stand up, if you will. Bunnies love to celebrate. John? Bunnies love to celebrate. So I want you to celebrate with me. So let's go ahead and hit the music. Let's burst out of our shells, shall we? New life. Hit the music. Louder. It's a beautiful day. Any kids that want to play with me, come on over. We're going to have an egg hunt. It's going to be great. Have a good day. Love yourselves and love each other. on, kids.
Kids, exit stage right. Wow. That was how many of you have been to a sermon Easter Bunny? That was my first. That was an inaugural for me. Well, so a couple of things to thank, people to thank, and just the whole staff of MSIA and Now Productions. Let's give them a wonderful hand in advance of one more wonderful production that is going to take place. Also know that you've seen these beautiful headdresses. Lee is modeling one exquisitely. They are available to be created. So not only is there an Easter bunny egg hunt, there's also arts and crafts. And then once this song is over, this will end the formal component of our morning program. If we can, please, let's give a wonderful round of applause for Earth Cafe, who has beautifully gifted us so generously with all of the treats and their incredible fare that they've got. And if it's not enough, they're over there on Hollister, just a couple of blocks away. You can get some more goodies there. So, coming to the stage, ready to regale us, we have Leanne Sharp. Liana, thank you for the clarification. Always love that. Clara and Jason Jansky. You know, I kind of checked out there. The Easter Bunny just kind of took me out there. I'm coming back. I'm going to ground in the sand, get into the ocean. I've heard this song. It's quite good. Are you ready?
Yay!
You need the microphone. So,
yeah.
without further ado, very special, and here we go.
Push the microphone because, okay. Can you hear me, guys? You can't hear me because I cannot hear myself. Oh, now I can hear myself. So this song was inspired from Simple Hallelujah that we were practicing with Liana. Is a future Hallelujah that you'll be hearing in the future, but not this one. And one day we were just joking around what to do for Easter that is really, really popping and fun, but there is also a hallelujah. And so I came up with this, she came up with the idea of a cumbia or whatever is how it happened. And I ended up with just doing this cumbia. And the three of us got together and this is what came out of it. It's called Cumbia de Pascua. It's in Spanish. And you're welcome to dance at the rhythm, to the rhythm of the drums. There you go. So
we're gonna bring in some rain. Yeah. So you want to go ahead and dance to rain dance?
Dance to the rain. Okay.
Okay. We're ready to
So
go.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. La playa caliente llama, su voz es como un dudor. El cielo canta y derrama 1000 gotas de luz de amor. El Cristo sonríe alegre, nos brinda su compasión. Es el pescador del alma, nos llena con su danzón. Y digo, ale, 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 aleluya. Aleluya, ale, 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 aleluya. Aleluya, ale, 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 aleluya. Aleluya, ale, 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 aleluya. Aleluya. de corazón y digo, ale, 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 aleluya, aleluya, ale, 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 aleluya, aleluya, ale, 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 aleluya, aleluya, ale, 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 aleluya, aleluya. Aleluya, ale, 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 ale. Aleluya, ale, 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 ale. Everybody, ale, 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 ale. Aleluya, ale, 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 ale. Cristo te ama, Cristo te goza, Cristo te dice, vete hermosa. ¡Ay, sabor! Take it away, Jason. Cristo te ama, Cristo te goza, Cristo te dice, véngase pa' acá, mamita. ¡Sabor! A bailar, a bailar. A gozar, a gozar. Y dice, ale, ale, aleluya, aleluya, ale, 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 aleluya, aleluya, ale, 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 aleluya, aleluya. One more, ale, 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 aleluya, everybody, aleluya, ale, 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 aleluya, aleluya, ale, 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 aleluya, bien, aleluya, ale, 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 aleluya, aleluya, ale, 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 aleluya, aleluya. Happy Easter! ¡Feliz Semana Santa!
Well, thank you all very much. That was fantastic, rousing, all cultures honored. Everyone, have a wonderful, wonderful Easter day. Celebrate, love each other, enjoy. God bless you all online. We will see you soon. God bless.